Hi dear friends, today we'll be talking about IELTS preparation in just 1 month. But before you start watching this video, make sure that you have subscribed to this channel. Before you start your IELTS preparation, it's advised to check your English language level. It should be higher than intermediate, at least intermediate, because if it's lower, we don't advise to start IELTS preparation. You will just waste your time. You will just try to do all this reading, listening, writing, speaking. You will get lower scores, and then one teacher or one person will come and say you that, my dear student, your problem is in general English. First, increase your English language level, your general English level, and then come to IELTS preparation again. So, before you do this, check your English language level. It's important. If it's lower than intermediate, try to increase it, try to improve it till intermediate or upper intermediate. Upper intermediate or advanced is cool. It means that you can start your preparation just right now. Let's imagine that you have a good level of English language and you have decided to start for IELTS preparation right now. What you should do, start from listening section, because listening section is the easiest one for many students. That's why we advise to start from listening. What we advise to do firstly. Sometimes we say that English listening is very easy, but for some students it's difficult. Even if you have a high level of English language, again, do one listening test from Cambridge, just one listening test, and check yourself how you can do it. Maybe you can have some problems with exercises. Maybe you don't know the types of exercises, because there are various types of them. There are multiple choice, fill in the gaps, maps, and so on, matching. You should be familiar with types of exercises firstly, and then you can start doing your listening. If your score is less than 20 correct answers, it means that you have problems with listening. You should listen to English videos too much to make yourself aware of English speech, like to make yourself accustomed to English speech so that it will not be problematic for you to make some listening tests. So, firstly, do one test to check your listening section score, let's say. If it's more than 20, it's okay, but if it's less than 25, it means that you have to work on it, you have to improve it a bit, it's not so good. But more than 25, more than 30, it means that that's okay. To improve your listening score, firstly, you should listen to some academic speech, especially in British English, because most tests in IELTS are in British English. That's why you should make yourself accustomed to British English. And then, after you started listening to recordings in English, you have to make yourself understand everything in this recording. If you don't understand some parts, it means that you have some problems and you have to eliminate these problems from your listening score. Then, what you do, you can make your recordings faster or slower, you can work with speed, it can improve your listening ability much better. Then, you have to understand all words, each word. If you don't understand something, try to listen to it again. Maybe you don't know the clear pronunciation of this word. Maybe you pronounce some words in a different manner, so the manner of British English seems to you a bit weird. And lastly, what we advise, don't do listening from Cambridge books immediately after you start your listening. Do some other tests, do tests from YouTube, from other sources, other books, then go to Cambridge. Why? Because Cambridge books are unique. You can't find any other books close to a real IELTS exam, especially 15, Cambridge 15, 14, 13, and 12. Leave these 4 books to the end of your preparation, because they will show you real score. Make some other books at the beginning, like Cambridge 6, 7, 8, 9. They are a bit older than new ones, but they are again closer to real exam than any other books. Okay, the next section is reading. Many students, when they start reading, they start from reading test, they do it, and at the end they see that they have very low score, like less than 20 correct answers, especially those who had A grade at school. and they thought that they know English perfectly. After reading tests, they realized that they don't know English at all. Don't be upset, don't be frustrated, it's normal. All people went through this, especially non-native speakers. You should firstly make yourself accustomed to read in English. Maybe you didn't read in English before you start your IELTS preparation. That's why it's very important to read in English, to make yourself accustomed to read different articles, especially the articles on topics that are discussed in IELTS, like it's job, education, I don't know, space research, and some other interesting topics. Environment, the topics about global warming and so on. You should try to fully understand the text, to understand almost all words. If you don't know some words, write them somewhere, try to learn, but don't learn some terms, because you'll be given some different topics on chemistry, biology, and of course these passages are full with different terms. You are not forced to learn all these terms. We don't have so much time to learn various topics, various terms. Just learn some words that are commonly used in articles in English and remember them. But firstly, when you start your reading first, you can learn some words, you can write them down, but when you go a bit further in your preparation and you do some reading tests, you will meet unfamiliar words very often. It's normal, because you will meet different topics and there will be some unfamiliar words. Don't be upset, don't search in your dictionary, just try to guess their meaning, guess their approximate meaning. After this, you will make yourself accustomed to define the translation of any word, close translation of any word easily. And this skill will help you during your exam, because during your exam you will not be provided with any diction. Next, in reading in reading section, we are given 3 passages, and each passage is with 2 or 3 exercises. You should be able to combine these exercises. You can't do only the first exercise, then the second, then the third. If it's needed, you will be doing firstly the third one, then the first one, then the second, or the second, the third, the first. So you should combine them properly so that you can save your time. Because the main point here, the main difficult part of reading is time management. We're given 1 hour. Many people think that it's okay, it's quite enough to do this test, but no, for many people it's not enough. So be ready to work with time and combine exercises. And for saving more time, you should you should do your test not reading the passage and then doing the exercises, but with doing exercises, looking through the passage. So, in other words, you should firstly read the exercises, the statements in the exercises, and through keywords, you will find the locations of the answers inside your passage. This will facilitate your reading and will help you save more time in reading section. Don't read the text, you will waste your time. Even if you are accustomed to this type of doing exercises from school studies, because at school teachers always say like, read the text, then do the exercises, read the text, then do the exercises. But no, here we can't do. If we read the text, we will just forget it because it's too big, it's full of different terms, it's full of different collocations, word expressions, we can't remember all of them. And that's why you should work with keywords in reading. This is the only fastest way to do your reading test. Only those who have advanced level in English can read and then find their answers. And those who have a good memory can read the text and do the questions next after the text. And lastly, about reading, don't stuck on some questions. If you stuck, go further. If you stuck, go further. Not go further too much because you will skip just some parts. But if you stuck on something, it means that your brain is already stuck. Leave question number 15, go to 16. When we change something, our brain kind of refreshes itself. So you can, after 16, you can go back to 15, and you can see that you can easily find the answer of 15 in this way. Now let's go to writing and speaking section, the most difficult parts, because here it's a bit difficult to guide yourself without a teacher, or at least without a person who knows English better than you. Firstly, try to read model answers. There are special structures, but not all structures on the internet are correct. That's why you should be very, very attentive while looking for appropriate essays. But at least these essays can help you develop ideas on some topics, and at least they can help you use proper lexical resources, proper collocations, the collocations that can be used in some special topics, and so on. For writing, of course, you need a good grammar and a good lexical resource. For good grammar, you need to take one book and work on your grammar, improve it. And for lexical resource, I advise to take some special IELTS books, because in those books you can find words that are mostly for IELTS writing or speaking. It's about lexical and grammar, but for task response or task achievement in writing and coherence and cohesion. Firstly, for task response and task achievements, your ideas should be structured. You should avoid tautology. Tautology is the repetition of some parts. If you do this, IELTS examiners don't like this, because IELTS doesn't like water in speaking or in writing when you just say some words to just fill the time. No, you should develop your ideas properly, one by one. Each sentence should create something new. So it's very, very important. Avoid tautology and develop ideas fully, or address your tasks fully. Then I advise to use less passive voice and more active voice. Don't avoid passive voice at all. Just use it when you want to highlight some special parts. And of course, it's good when you have someone who will check your grammar mistakes, because maybe there are some parts of grammar, some points of grammar that you don't know, but the person who can help you will know these points. And lexical resource, before using some words, some expressions, or before translating those expressions from your native language, because when people translate some expressions from their native language, they translate it word by word, but what you say in your native language word by word may be inappropriate in English, or maybe a lot different in English. Then speaking, of course, it's good to have a speaking partner who will help you, and the person who knows English much better than you, who will identify your mistakes, your weak parts. Again, avoid tautology. Try to answer to the questions directly. Don't be out of topic, because IELTS, both in writing and in speaking, doesn't like tautology or doesn't like out of topic. Then record your voice and listen to it. Maybe you can't find major mistakes, but at least minor mistakes where you have missed some preposition or where you have missed some articles, you can identify. Of course, for the first, people don't like their voice, they don't like the sound of their voice. It's quite normal, but after some time you will be accustomed to your voice. Next, many people advise using idioms in speaking. It's good, but it shouldn't be fake. It should sound natural, as if you have used these idioms throughout your life, and it's quite normal for you to say that you are over the moon. Not idioms, but phrasal verbs are advised to use in speaking, because speaking is mostly like informal part, especially part 1 and part 2. They are kind of informal part of your speech. So there you should be able to use some phrasal verbs. It's verbs with preposition to show that you are closer to native speakers. Next points of speaking, it's not only grammar and it's not only lexical resource, it's of course fluency and pronunciation. Be careful with pronunciation. If you are not sure about some words, or maybe you pronounce some words incorrectly, look for them in dictionaries, try to listen to their correct pronunciations, or try to ask someone who knows English better than you whether you mispronounce some words. And fluency. Fluency is a very important part. It's a bit difficult to achieve fluency if you speak slowly in your native language. That's why try to make your speech a bit faster. If you make your speech faster in your native language, you can speak faster in English. It's important. Yeah, I know it's maybe your character to speak very, very slowly, but it's not good for IELTS. The examiner may think that you think too much before saying something. That's why try to speak faster to increase your fluency. And of course, fluency is not only fast speaking, but it's also joining words to each other to sound more closer to native speakers. Not saying like I don't like cheeseburger. You have to say, I don't like. Like it should be pronounced like joined words together. Well, I hope this video will be helpful for those who are going to prepare for IELTS for themselves or by themselves. I hope this video will be helpful for those who are going to prepare for IELTS by themselves. You need some help at least if you are not sure about your English language level, but some of this part you can do by yourself. If it's interesting, you can leave some comments and I'll try to answer some of them. Thank you for watching. See you soon in the next video.